more on the inside with the Discovery Channel. Up next, take an inside tour of the Venetian in fabulous Las Vegas on the world's largest hotel. And Sunday at 8, Lethal and Dangerous Venomous Snakes. Here it's 120 degrees on the roof, about what it feels like in the kitchen. Tempers have boiled over at the front desk as 2 conventions check in. Falling chairs have caused a crisis for security, and a shortage of sheets starts a panic in the pantry. This is the side of Las Vegas visitors never see. It's the secrets behind making the guests happy, all 50,000 of them each day. This is a fine-tuned, well-choreographed, complex operation. But here at the Venetian Resort, the world's biggest hotel, it's just another day. Tonight, we'll go behind the beautiful scenes for an insider's look at the engine that keeps 2.6 million square feet of conventioneers, tourists, and gamblers happy every day.
Like the Italian city it replicates, with its own full-scale St. Mark's Clock Tower, bridges and canals, Campanile Bell Tower, and Doge's Palace, the Venetian is strikingly beautiful. Hand-painted murals of Renaissance Venice adorn the ceilings. More ceiling murals than any other building in the world. Columns and crown moldings sparkle with 24-karat gold leaf. The building stands out in Las Vegas for its lack of neon flash, relying instead on its sophisticated grandeur to attract. 50,000 tourists a day walk through, posing for a picture souvenir in this make-believe Venice in the desert. Certainly beautiful, the Venetian is also a very big place. Only the first phase is complete, and already it's the largest hotel in the world, with 2.6 million square feet of living space, in more than 3,000 rooms and penthouse suites. Phase 2 will double the property size to more than 6,000 hotel rooms, another world record. All that size, all that beauty, make the Venetian one of the most complex resorts in the world to operate. And it's all done from here, the back of house. The place guests never go. A hive of activity they never see. The hustle back of house supports the gilded image of the front of house, while crooning gondoliers and 16th century courtesans set an elegant stage for the front of house. The back of house cranks.
The business days, it's every day. Every day. We don't have a slow day here.
When it gets busy, boy, I don't know how to explain it. It gets busy.
When we're doing huge catered events, there's always that scare that what if the kitchen breaks?
Okay, we're going to do 2 sample plates first, 1 on each side, and then we're going to start. Now the belt is broken. Steve? Yes. Mine's broken. Doesn't work. My belt is broken. I'm serious. Okay. I have only one line, so you got to start right away. No, it's too late. We're going to go with only one side down there.
A conveyor belt on Chef Georg Pauluson's serving assembly line breaks at the moment of truth. And with a party of 2,500 about to be seated, it's Murphy's Law in action. This house of potential problems is the gamble of billionaire Sheldon Adelson.
I started out at 12 years old and selling newspapers, and then buying and selling newspaper corners.
In 1989, he bought the legendary Sands Hotel and blew it up in 1996 to make room for the massive Venetian. Adelson doesn't see himself as a master hotelier, but as an entrepreneurial spirit.
I think if I did a chain of coffee stands or falafel stands, I'd probably get just as good a good feeling out of doing that as I would out of building this property. It's a $2.5 billion property.
About the only way to operate a place like this and maintain a quality product is to break it up into small chunks.
Food service feed the guests.
Oh. So it's enormous stress because the guest doesn't care what the problems are in the kitchen, so we have to get the food out in time, and that's actually what's happened. That's why you hear all this noise right now.
Security protects them.
He's got something. He's got a mark here. What's going on?
Gaming excites them.
This is the excitement that you never see.
Right.
Facilities make sure everything is working.
When they go down, I get a call, and pretty much have to jump through hoops because a lot of this I don't have spares for right now.
And Hotel Services provides the guest with a nice, clean room.
Does she want to move right now? Is that what she wants to do?
Well, she wants to move eventually. I don't know if she needs to move right this moment.
The back of the house is vital to supporting the front, obviously. Matter of fact, it's so important to us here, we don't call it the back of the house. We call it the heart of the house, because that truly is the heart of our operation.
When the house fills, the heart races. The young Venetian faces a crucial full house test over the next few days. Tupperware's national convention breaks over the hotel in 2 separate waves of 5,000 franchisees each. In between waves 1 and 2 is an important invitation-only affair for high rollers. Immediately followed by Western Shoes, the world's largest foot apparel show, which is being held in the adjoining Sands Expo Center. Conventions mean large numbers, but the real stress comes from 5,000 or 6,000 people being on the same schedule. They check in at the same time, eat, drink, and sleep in herd proportions. Mingled in with these sellers of shoes and plastic bowls are millionaire VIPs expecting royal treatment. It's a triple whammy that calls the whole spectrum of hotel services into play. Everybody's feeling the pressure. You couldn't have picked a worse time to venture back of house, particularly in the kitchen.
I'd like you to go in the line because we have to make up for speed now, all right? Okay, Daniel, you go in the line, take everybody out there. Leave here, you please take the carrots. Well, it's important for me that I stay somehow calm. You know, if I would start freaking out now and get very upset and angry about it, it's not going to solve the problem.
With one belt down, executive chef Georg Paulison, Chef Paul as his crew calls him, helps pick up the pace.
Excuse me a second. That is not fast enough, guys. That is by far not fast enough. You got to speed it up. We have only 1 hour now. I don't hear no excuses. Just keep it working.
No excuses. Just dishing up 2,500 plates in 50 minutes. A job that would take 3 hours without the assembly line. Tupperware alone will consume 50 tons of banquet food. That means the Venetian must have at least $500,000 worth of food on hand every day. The staff of 450 makes everything from scratch in a 16,000 square foot facility that houses 8 kitchens on 2 floors. The large banquets the kitchen prepares for can take more than 100 waiters to serve.
What is that mint? Pick up. What is this mint? Thank you. Get out the room. That's our signal.
That's about it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What's that extra finger you got?
In the next few days, food services will be hammered with back-to-back banquets.
Get out of the finest place in the world. Viva Las Vegas.
Enjoy yourself, but be aware that you're always being watched. Venetian Security Director Mike Manning says such diligence is warranted.
People come to a facility such as a Venetian, and they're looking for a fun time. And they tend sometimes to let their guard down a little bit. So we're there. We're in the background. We're watching.
And in the foreground, like Officer Dennis Williams. A good day in security is when nothing happens, or only small things, like shooing people without proper ID from the casino, or helping a lady find her friend. Then you get a call.
Pete, I got a 421 in the cage. We're going in.
In is the steward's cage of the convention center. A worker just went down. Armed with emergency medical equipment, Officer Williams comes to the man's aid.
The chairs fell on you?
They check the man over and try to piece together what happened. They transfer him to security's medical office for closer attention. Only moments after Officer Williams leaves, the young man declines that medical attention, then falls out of his chair, apparently having a heart attack. But things aren't always what they seem to be, especially in Las Vegas.
The Venetian Resort and Hotel uses 1 million gallons of water per day. The average person uses 168 gallons per day. Coming up next, celebrity chefs prepare gourmet meals for thousands, and the engines that consume $500,000 worth of electricity every day. As On the Inside continues.
Why not sidewalk opera in Las Vegas? Actors perform throughout the property, creating a visual and vocal facade of Venice for guests, while everything front of house is relaxed Venetian. A situation back of house has security a little tense.
What fell on you?
After getting hit in the leg with falling chairs, the man appeared to go into cardiac arrest. But once paramedics and security manager Tony Wilmot got a closer look, that wasn't quite the case.
It appeared that the person that was laying on the ground, it appeared to be a hoax, is about the nicest way I could put it.
You almost acquire a sixth sense of reading between the lines on some of these reports, where you can detect something just doesn't look right. And we have to have that ability and those skills to ferret that out, so we do protect this property.
Down the hall, the Sands Expo Center begins to fill with the freight that will be assembled into the 3,000 booths of the Western Shoe Convention. So while Tupperware's back-to-back conventions utilize the Venetian's 110 meeting rooms, Western Shoe will bring up to 50,000 people a day into the Sands Expo Hall. It's the largest private convention hall in the country, and it's Adelson's ace in the hole. The reason he could risk building this huge hotel.
So our strategy is to fill midweek with conventions and weekend with leisure travelers. We're looking at, let's say, the affluent market, or people who appreciate quality and luxury.
Venetian President Rob Goldstein insists that the resort is not a gamble, though some Las Vegas analysts think it is.
Is it a gamble long term? No. Is it a calculated risk for a business decision? Sure. But we're in so many good businesses, very candidly. You don't build these things just out of wishes. You build them out of hard numbers and facts.
Facts like up to 50,000 people a day stroll through the hotel's Grand Canal shopping mall in St. Mark's Square. The more romantic can take a gondola ride through the majestic indoor canal under a perfect hand-painted sky. The hotel has 1.5 million square feet of polished marble tile, more than any building in the world. And bodies can get in shape at the 65,000 square foot Canyon Ranch Spa Club, an amenity that fits well with the Venetian's upscale scheme.
The next thing we did was to lease out all of our food outlets. So we leased out all of our restaurants to third parties, celebrity chefs, independently owned and operated with their money at risk.
The owner of the Venetian came to our restaurant, Patina Restaurant in Los Angeles a lot, and he said, I want you at the Venetian. So here I am.
Little negotiation?
Little negotiation. Okay. He's a tough guy to negotiate.
Chef Joachim Splichal serves French country food at Pinot Brasserie and drives a hard bargain himself, as his staff can tell you.
I come to Las Vegas quite often, and often I come on a surprise visit and just show up and raise hell.
Having built-in competitors like Splichal, Piero Selvaggio, and TV celebrity Emeril Lagasse raises the bar for Chef Paul's banquet and in-suite dining fare.
We want to serve the same quality than what restaurants do. It's a big challenge.
He delegates a lot of that challenge to his sous chefs, who manage different areas of the kitchen. Chef Paul still checks over their shoulder 2 or 3 times a day, walking about 3 miles, visiting every part of the kitchen.
Hey, Modesto. How are you? Good. How are you, Chef? Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. See, this is the base now. And what Modesto is going to do, actually, is going to carve out the rough bases, and then he's going to go into details.
As Modesto makes art of colored ice, Chef Paul evaluates the culinary style of sous chef Daniel Galan.
What I like to do, I'd like to see your sample plates for tonight's VIP functions and also for the high rollers. Did you do them already? Go ahead with that. I like this one. And then we have over here, what is this?
Buffalo mozzarella Roma tower with a maple vinaigrette.
I'm very much quality-oriented. Taste, texture, and presentation. That's what I live by.
Pastry chefs prepare tonight's desserts for high rollers. Even the strawberries are dressed for the occasion. Modesto's sculpture is almost ready as well.
The symbol of Venice is the Venetian flying lion. And Modesto's just doing, right now, keep on going, Modesto. He's doing the fine work, very detailed.
Make a wrong move, and the flying lion becomes an orange slush. It's happened to Modesto before he gained the steady hand and eye of experience. 2 floors below, in the back-of-house basement, Facilities Director Kim Grange heads off problems in his weekly department head meeting. These people manage the physical property and make sure everything works.
We get 2 or 3 days out from that. We either find out something we can do.
Well, the problem is if the issues are not resolved, the county will come in and shut the ride down. That's where we're at on that.
Jim, let's stay on top of that.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We've got a plan. We won't get shut down.
Okay. All right.
Well, my day is totally reactionary. I feel like a traffic controller and a crisis control center. Especially when you got a phone call from an owner and a customer who is screaming, and I've got an employee who's saying, I can't do it. So you have to get them all back together, and you got jackhammering going on. It's lovely.
Jackhammers aside, Facilities relies on a computerized building management system to regulate the Venetian. Sensors wired throughout the 5 million square feet of enclosed space control everything from the 20,000-ton air conditioning system that could chill a small desert town to the 5 800-horsepower steam boilers that generate enough hot water for 6,000 simultaneous showers.
This hotel, Venetian Hotel, can let you stand in that shower all day long and all night long, and you won't feel a degree of fluctuation. And you can flush all the toilets you want. It won't hurt you a bit.
Ripped craps tables, dead telephones, and other things needing to be fixed account for 2,500 calls a week to Facilities. Shops maintain everything in the Venetian. An electrical shop, a welding shop, key shop, upholstery shop, kitchen shop. They could rebuild the whole place if they had to, as long as they had power.
Those here are something we don't want to touch. Say we had a catastrophe happen on the building site. We had the fire department says we need to cut your power because you got a fire going on. We can hit those buttons and we can kill the power to the whole building.
Meanwhile, Facilities Richard Perks, who handles video and communications, is hoping no one will notice a problem with the sound quality for the operatic performances in St. Mark's Square.
This room is a very large tomb, we call it. It's an echo chamber. If you clap your hands, it just keeps on coming back to you. It's been a tough battle, but we think we have it licked.
Get one licked, you've got another, because this is a big place. The electricity bill alone is $500,000 a month, which powers a lot of light bulbs. Perks is checking out bulb replacements on the big board over Las Vegas Boulevard.
This whole area down here is where Phase 2 is proposed to go, and it's going to have another 3,036-room tower and a whole other casino. So our area responsibility will increase dramatically, and we'll be buried. But it'll be fun. That's what the job's all about.
Solving problems. And if it has to do with VIPs, Facilities moves fast. A contingent of Latin Americans is in-house for the special high roller weekends. So Perks reconfigured his rooftop dishes and video network.
Taking care of these requests like on the fly for these special important weekends. These high rollers wanted to have Mexican television, and they're going to have it.
And anything else to make their stay more enjoyable, because the back of house is there for one reason, to make sure the customers are happy.
According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the Venetian Resort and Hotel has the largest hotel rooms in the world. Coming up next, 615 miles of crown molding, 6 football fields of windows, and 700 surveillance cameras. Appearance is everything. A massive job as On the Inside continues. World's largest hotel, and Sunday at 8, lethal and dangerous venomous snakes.
Appearance is everything, especially at the Venetian. Built to lure high-end clients. $20,000 chandeliers and 615 miles of crown molding make a decorative impression. Magnificent paintings fool the eye with illusory dimensions. Outside, Venetian monuments draw admirers in off the street. Guest room picture windows, enough to cover 6 football fields, reflect desert mountains and sky. Keeping this colossal building spotless is the job of Naomi Moore, Director of Housekeeping. Even though the first wave of the convention has just taken over 1,500 of her rooms, Moore's attention is momentarily sidetracked to a powwow with facilities over how to clean a splotched pool deck.
They weren't able to remove some of the dirt from construction. As you can see, you know, there's different stuff, oils and stuff like that, and they sealed on top of the dirt. Man, this is going to be a big job.
Big jobs get done by thousands of small tasks, all coordinated by Moore. She keeps her 800-person staff of seamstresses, warehousers, buffers, dispatchers, maids, and housemen who support the maids on task and on time.
We're up here on the 4th floor and we're backing up. That seems to be happening lately, and I don't know why. I need to have that corrected, and I need to have it corrected now.
She can be demanding, but employees see her nice side more often. Moore stays until 10 at night doing her paperwork, so she can be available during the day. Individuals in her diverse staff often need help managing the pressures of cleaning, a task that's underappreciated and easy to criticize.
But I have determined in my mind that my first time will be devoted to the employees.
And they return the favor.
I no go to lunch.
Uh-oh. Can you go after work, maybe? Sit down and have something to eat?
Maybe I finish the good.
Good. This checkout?
Yeah, I have 7 checkouts.
7 checkouts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Checkouts take more work. So does a room shared by 3 or 4 conventioneers, all seeming to want irons at the same time to press their dresses for the evening banquet.
We put 10 runners on. 10 runners yesterday? Because of Tupperware, it was like, insanity. I couldn't keep up with the deliveries.
But it's organized insanity. From the start of the day, when maids pick up their laundered uniforms, get their room assignments from the floor manager, stock their carts from the supply closets located on every floor, and make the beds, all triple sheeted so a guest's skin never touches a scratchy blanket. And they pick up the debris left by visitors, who can sometimes be
Slobs. Slobs. And they don't leave any tip either. They move furniture. We would have lampshade that's burned. We would have holes on the wall. We got lipstick written all over the mirror. They forget that we're human too and that we shouldn't be treated like that.
There's a nice ribbon in your hair.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look pretty.
Bye.
Bye.
Every day has its crisis. Today's was late delivery of 20,000 pounds of sheets, backing up bed making. Moore's used to it, making whatever adjustments are necessary to finish the day with a clean house and happy guest. Good housekeeping is an art, an invisible art.
If everything goes off great, they don't see the maid in the room, but when they come back, everything's done and everything's beautiful. It's almost like these little elves came in.
While invisible elves scurry about the back of the house, bad guys can be lurking out front. Such characters draw the attention of security.
Welcome to the Venetian Hotel. When you have a gaming atmosphere, liquor served on a 24-hour basis, it's going to have a certain attraction to an element that you don't want.
Security's job is to protect the property of the guest and the employees, as well as the Venetian's assets.
Copy, sir. Thank
The
you.
hotel has a 200-person police force, backed up by over 700 surveillance cameras. Together, they protect the $2.5 billion property, where 6,000 guests brings who knows what valuables, where 100,000 people a day pass through, and where the casino is ripe with cash. While patrols run on secret schedules and guards stand watch, investigators dress like tourists so they can protect the real tourists close up. Corporate security agent Terry Arbuckle shows how a couple of plainclothesmen blend right in.
Okay, we're going to take a little trip out on the floor into some of the action, and we've got two plainclothes investigators that'll be working that area and trying to protect the guests from any evil. Now he's watching, he'll be watching the rail to make sure everybody's hands are not on somebody else's chips. Again, down on the floor level to make sure nobody's trying to pull a purse out from under the table that might be stuck there.
That's a sophisticated pan and tilt camera operating 24 hours a day to watch the activity as it flows here. You'll see these little bubbles throughout the property, and that's exactly what they are. They're very, very high-tech pan and tilt cameras.
Actually, many people don't see them at all, or you wouldn't think they do the way they carry on. Kissing, groping, tap dancing in the elevator.
Sometimes people just do things on the spur of the moment, and you sit there and see that, and you wonder, what are they thinking about?
If candid camera shots aside, security needs to be especially alert this weekend, which is being discussed in the routine shift meeting. Having invited high rollers in the house means big bankrolls that might attract attention. At the same time, the Venetian is full of many first-time Vegas visitors who can attract unwanted attention as well.
Tupperware is in town. It's a large convention. They have mainly female guests are here. There was an incident around the Rialto bar, and we need to make sure that we pick up our coverage in that area, in the slot area, and we need to make sure that we're high profile.
Go out through there, take you out the doors.
Uniformed officers are, in fact, high-profile walking information centers. Officer Gregory Kiss sets people straight about the rules.
Sir, just to let you know, there's no camcorders allowed on. Okay, thank you very much.
Points people in the right direction.
Just go along the food court here. What you're going to do is you're going to make a right all the way around. You're going to see the elevator lobby on the left-hand side. Ladies, it'll be straight past the food court here. Go around to your right, right through all these slots right here.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do is you're going to see a double escalator. Take the one on the right.
Though primarily tech people, security officers must always be aware of their public relations role.
And no matter how bad of a day you might be having, this is Disneyland, Las Vegas Forum, so we have to smile and have a really good time here.
Oh, hi.
As part of his rounds, Kiss crisscrosses the hotel floors looking for things that JDLR just don't look right.
I'll be securing your door for you, sir. Thank you.
He has an uneventful shift going until he's brought in as a backup on a domestic dispute. These calls are tough for any law enforcement personnel because they can be so unpredictable.
The oldest hotel in Las Vegas is the Golden Gate. It was built in 1906 and has only 106 rooms. Coming up next, keeping the high rollers happy with $10,000 a night suites.
Butler Services, good morning.
And the eyes and ears of the casino.
They're probably watching us right now from all the different cameras they have.
As On the Inside continues.
Was possibly the finest rock and roll show I have ever seen. I Smell World Tour!
Wow. You mean the whole world?
You're not, Gene, you're not, Paul, you guys aren't Kiss?
No.
But we did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cause you heard the bazaar that I'm hungry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying, "Never ever come back and see me." Yesterday, you've forgiven me, but it'll still be too late to love say I'm sorry. Like vanilla, it's the finest of the flavors. And see the show cause I know the target goers at my door and I'll bang your rest. You'll have to sign a waiver. I haven't had a feeling when my mind up my sleeve. I haven't seen you since it's been 1 week since you looked at me. Dropped your ass aside and said sorry.
You're on the inside with the Discovery Channel. On now, the world's largest hotel.
There's a place that's very close, but feels far, far away. A place called Atlantis.
Save $640 per couple on 4-night packages for travel through December 20th. Call 1-800-ATLANTIS or your travel professional.
The hotel is at full occupancy, which has the back of house moving at full tilt to service the guests. Unfortunately, some people bring problems from home with them.
Usually the hardest things that we respond to are domestic disputes, and sometimes they turn on you when you try to help out one party. These are few and far between, but they do happen once in a while. So they're switching occupancy. Is that what they're going to do? Guest number 1 is going to give the room to guest number 2? Okay.
The bickering pair agree to keep the peace. Kiss goes back to his rounds, and security fades into the background. But always watching, particularly with high rollers about, each carrying a credit line of $500,000 and more. Because these players put so much on the line, and sometimes lose, their penthouse rooms, such as this 5,000 square foot, $10,000 a night presidential suite, are free. And they come with a butler, like Mario, who's arranged for his high-rolling clients a limousine trip to Lake Mead for some boating and a picnic.
We've got wine, we've got sandwiches, we've got shrimps, fruit, dips, absolutely. Beautiful cake. I might just sneak in the limo myself.
But only if invited, of course, because the privacy of these heavy hitters is tightly guarded.
And gentlemen, I'm afraid this is where we depart. Butler Services, good morning. I can get them anything. We've gone out from the small things as CDs to underwear, swimming trunks, you name it. We go out and get it for them.
Mario is much too discreet to reveal the more unusual and even decadent anythings he has obtained for his special guests. Such loyal service can be well rewarded.
My best tip is $3,000. Went out of my way. Let's put it this way. That's what I get hired for.
While Mario answers a high roller's call, the casino prepares for a busy weekend night. The second wave of Tupperware's convention is moving in, while the first wave is moving out, though many are hanging around to gamble some leftover money. Pit bosses and managers make sure that each table's rack, the bank of cash and chips, is right. They set the table limits. They even check out new cards, $15 million a year. The odds, of course, are always with the house, even if you're a back-of-house pro.
people think you actually have an inside track working here. Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't be working. I'd be on the outside playing.
Before beginning a shift of play, dealers relax, playing games. Soon after shift change, Casino Administrative Manager Mary Eilish surveys the gaming floor.
So from here you can take a look at, this is my first glance usually of the casino and the business levels that we've got. I'm looking for, hi Doug, I'm looking for table limit signs, I'm looking for dead games, so it's pretty busy to help in the race.
Eilish, who seems to know half the people in the casino, also serves as unofficial ear to the ground for casino employees.
I get a myriad of questions, and of course they ask me, since I'm not the direct chain of command, they can ask me questions. Are we going to have a layoff? Are we hiring more people? You know, I heard this, is that actually happening? You know, we heard that, or whatever the rumor might be.
While Eilish listens, others in gaming keep a lookout. Perched in a high-tech nest located somewhere over the casino, the eagle-eyed agents of casino surveillance watch the action.
They're probably watching us right now from all the different cameras they have. It's a good thing. You know, we call them the eye in the sky, or the eye.
Casino surveillance has about 150 cameras trained on the floor. The crew, each an expert in table games as well as surveillance, looks for cheating and for subtle indications of behavior.
And we recognize those type of telltale signs very quickly, and it's very hard to get over on us. Our main objective is to protect the assets of the company, but we're also looking at it after the guests.
And of course, looking at them.
Okay, on this thing, this is our Pie-Gout tiles game, and we just noticed that there was a mark on one of the tiles. Marking tiles is just the same as marking cards. He zoomed right in and saw that scratch on that tile.
They alert the pit boss. Should any questions arise about any table action, Eitner has instant replay from a bank of 300 VCRs.
So these are individuals that we have had escorted out or arrested. So we've been doing a pretty good job lately.
Want to get any of this? Yeah. We've got somebody who just hit something on a $500 machine that we just looked at. So. Excuse me.
One pull of this slot machine costs $500, but it can pay off big.
Yeah, $60,000 that she $60,000 she just won.
Oh, God, I'll take a check. Oh, a check? No, actually, can I have that? 30 on a check and 30 in cash.
Congratulations. That's really exciting.
Thank you.
First time you ever won this much?
Yes.
This time I step back and let our team members do their job. So I just kind of get out of here and go do something else.
Mary continues to scan the casino while Stephanie Harold serves it. Liquor lubricates the gambling spirit, so anyone playing drinks for free. The Venetian serves about 5,000 drinks a day, and a computer calibrates most of the pouring.
The liquor dispensing system behind me is comprised of 48 brands which are dispensed on a liquor gun up at all of the casino bars. The liquor lines run from the pump all the way up to the casino level through a trough. This trough is about 300 feet long.
That's almost 3 miles of booze tubes, and it comes out here in a drink on Stephanie's tray, where it'll usually generate a tip.
A good night tip-wise? Hold on. Can I say that? A good night tip-wise, $100, and could be lots more.
Try $2,000. Insiders say that a charming and efficient cocktail waitress working high-limit tables can get that lucky. Right now, casino surveillance has on screen a suspect who might be stretching his luck. He hasn't done anything wrong, but he just doesn't look right.
Go ahead and spin camera 316 around in front of that Players Club. You're walking right into it. You're on 315? I'm on 315. Go ahead and keep on him on there.
He's very interested in what she's doing. We've looked on the floor, so we don't see a purse or anything up on the floor. So we suspect that he might be looking at maybe a couple coin or something alongside the machine that she has stuck in on the side. I think we need security right now. Yeah.
That's affirmative. He sits next to the WFA. He needs to be ID for Sky 1.
You're approaching them right now. That's him right there. Should I get a good idea on the guy?
And he's happily taking out his ID. If he was a bad guy, he probably wouldn't have given us an ID, and he would have just walked off, and and we would have asked him to leave. So, everything ends well.
Or at least this shift. The slots are emptied. Housekeeping takes over the floor, except for a few diehards, and the casino enjoys a quiet Sunday dawn. But Tupperware Convention hasn't finished blowing through the Venetian yet, and the other shoe, the Western Shoe Convention, is about to drop.
The MGM Grand in Las Vegas houses the most hotel rooms in the world with 5,005. Coming up next, thousands check out as thousands check in. 1 million square feet are cleaned in 8 hours. It all begins again for the world's largest hotel.
Let's go, guys. Move it. Zeke, next.
As On the Inside continues.
Who is this? Sunday morning, and nobody's going anywhere. No convention meetings, no picnics. They want to sleep in and have breakfast in. It's the busiest meal of the week for room service.
Right now it's busy. We just got in about 50 orders within the last 10 minutes, so we have to make up with time for that.
In about 2 hours, 400 orders are called in, going into the computer, then onto the grill.
I was in the military. I was a dietitian and a cook in the Army, so I have a lot of experience with omelets.
Hot boxes are lined up like airplanes waiting on a crowded runway for takeoff. Waitresses and waiters hustle the orders to the rooms. So many guests staying in late for breakfast means more headaches for housekeeping.
It's probably even a little more hectic because of Tupperware, because we've got like 1,500 checkouts and 1,000 checking in. A lot more stress than on a usual Sunday.
310.
After going to church with her family, Moore is in to help her crew through this big crunch. Days off have been rare lately, and Moore hasn't seen one in 3 weeks.
But I'm going to take off, hopefully, on Tuesday and Wednesday for my birthday.
All clean.
Tower manager Sandy Lee keeps running tabs on her maid's progress and inspects their work.
And make sure that there's no dust, no fingerprints, no makeup on it, because a lot of the guests use them. And like this one, there's a brush in here. And when we check, we do room inspection. Whatever she missed, I find.
Inspections done, Sandy finds a corner where she can finish her room count and pass that information on.
Okay, thank you. What do you want?
As soon as a room opens up, the front desk sends a new guest on the way.
Hi, Regina. We visited the hotel from New York. We're with Tupperware.
Hotel manager Doug Seebach works the lines to keep them as short as possible.
Killing you. A $15 check.
Yeah, they threw away some stuff in my room.
Oh, okay. Why don't you come with me? If they're with Tupperware, tell them to check them in.
Okay.
Tell them to check them in.
They just called and wanted more people. No, you're not.
We don't have the people to give them.
I know.
We don't have the people. The flow is just nothing for a while, and all at once is boom, it hits you. And that's what we're encountering right now, and we need to find a way to expedite that to get that controlled.
Some of those in line are arriving for the Western Shoe Convention, which is a mess of boxes and shoes, few of them in pairs. To Sands Expo Center General Manager Richard Heller, this chaos looks normal.
There's absolutely nothing here. On Thursday morning, it was just empty. And we build a city, basically. What you're looking at here is the Western Shoe Show. The Western Shoe Show is the largest shoe show in the United States, probably the world.
The trade show starts as an empty box. Then the floors are marked off. And the 3,000 booths go up. Joey Greco-Wasser manages the delivery of services.
Joey and I always joke. Joey does whatever I don't want to do.
She oversees the building of this city of booths, including the hundreds of phone installations and more than 2,000 electrical outlets needed by Western shoe exhibitors. Her crunch time comes around midnight before the convention opens, when she's on the floor directing traffic of 75 electricians, 300 decorators, a dozen riggers, and 125 cleaners. While Greco Wasser handles convention hall services, Ashlyn Laporte works with the Western shoe people. So far, so good.
You are show management, and you're supposed to just be relaxed because everything's taken care of.
You're out there handling it all for us.
There you go. See? Say that. We said that one more time? Okay, this is the one change. This is the only change we've got? Boy, you guys are good. Right here, this is the Venetian's Grand Ballroom, and that's where the event is going to be for Jay Leno. A lot of the shows here will have, say for the kickoff of their show, they're going to have a special party, maybe the first night of the show, and that's where this is going to be. Jay Leno's going to come in and do his thing right over there in the Venetian Grand Ballroom.
Michael Thomas's 125-person crew is cleaning like crazy.
Mike to Oscar. Oscar, come in. Hey, Oscar, I'm here at booth 4425. I'm looking at 2 pallets, 2 crates here. We got boxes, we got trash, we got debris. Hopefully, we'll be finished at 7 o'clock in the morning because the show does open at 9.
The night before show opens, most folks will walk around and say, it'll never be ready. It's not going to get clean. They'll never get all these crates out of here. It'll never be ready. And lo and behold, at 8 in the morning the next day, it's spit and polished and ready to go.
And it is. 1 million square feet has been cleaned in less than 8 hours. 50,000 shoe people hit the floor, and the dealing begins. Soon to be followed by dining at the Jay Leno reception. Marinated lamb chops, roast beef, cheese pastries, sushi, and other delights take shape in the kitchen.
Oh, let's go, guys. Move it. Zeke, next.
This reception for 2,500 isn't large by Venetian standards. Even so, it's costing $250,000, and Chef Paul wants to make sure every morsel arrives at the party.
Yeah, don't give it to the waiters. They're going to all eat it up.
The reception hall is readied at the last minute before the conventioneers walk from the Sands Expo Center to the Venetian's Grand Ballroom. They're ready for food and Jay Leno. Security is ready for the celebrity, too.
These are all high-profile celebrities that attract, you know, the fans and the autograph seekers and even some enemies.
The last thing they find out just moments before his arrival is which door he's coming through.
Pretty slow news day.
He shifts into character just as he leaves the back of house and gives Western Shoe a perfect kickoff. They aren't the only ones happy. Venetian owner Sheldon Adelson has to be tickled with the way the back of house has handled the crush of 2 conventions and high rollers all at once. The people behind the scenes can catch their breath, but only for a moment, because a magic convention will fill the house in a few days. People will win and lose. Traders will chase the deal. The illusions of Venice in the front of house will entertain and awe. But the real magic, as always, will take place on the inside.
To purchase a home video of the program you just saw, call now to order. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling, you too can become part of the adventure. Journey to our world's farthest corners and beyond. From technology and expedition to the everyday how-to. Make Discovery's critically acclaimed and award-winning programming your very own. Quality and excellence for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call now to order. There's no thrill like Discovery.